What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. This is Hero Zero, where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk about their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mean. Shaun, how's it going?
Good, Connor. Very solid intro this week, I must say. Just credit where credit's due.
Can I just say, by the way, you looked terrified halfway through because you were like, he's gone wrong.
Oh no, do you know why? You went a bit wrong, and then the Google Meet froze. So me giving you praise for that intro was entirely just assuming that you recovered.
Oh, I did not.
Oh no!
There was 10 seconds of
Oh shit! Well, I'll hear that in the edit, won't I?
So, Shaun, as I said, this is Hero Zero. Normally on this show, you would choose a Marvel character. I choose a DC character. And last week you chose a character called Doc Samson.
Yeah, who you hate for no reason because he stole someone's girl. I just
think it's not I just don't think he's a nice man.
It's not a sound thing to do.
I'm allowed to have those feelings. Like, do all the good you want, but just don't be a bit sly about the whole thing.
No, it's valid. It's valid, Connor.
If this is your first episode of Hero Zero, we'd really appreciate it if you give us a like and review, whatever podcast platform that you're listening to this on, would really help us out. But Shaun, we got to get straight into it because I'm not quite sure how far or how deep I want to go this week. I'm doing a character that I would say is the arch nemesis of one of the big three of DC.
Holy shit. And the Joker.
She's actually the only female arch enemy that I can find really in DC. And that is Barbara Minerva, otherwise known as Cheetah. That is Wonder Woman's arch nemesis.
From Wonder Woman 1984, of course.
Of course, played by Kristen Wiig. But there's been 4 or 5 Cheetahs at this point. I'm going to choose the main one that was created by George Perez, and that's in like 1980. In 1987 was her first appearance, up until like 2011. So, as I said, there's been a few before this, but I'm going to just choose this origin story because I just think this is probably the main one that they're working off.
It gets you like the gist of the character, what she's about.
So the main thing that you have to kind of remember about Cheetah is that she's been in so many stories that I didn't know how, as I said, deep I wanted to go. So I've kind of just done the origin and maybe just done a little bit because I felt like a lot of her stories are team based.
Right.
And there are stories in which she pops up in a lot of other things. And there's also stories in which they're very samey. It's a lot of her fighting Wonder Woman and losing.
Well, that's good because she's a villain, Connor. We want her to lose.
She keeps getting back out and is like, no, this time I'm going to fuck her up.
I've got a new plan now. I'm going to use cheetah-based powers to defeat her.
Oh no, she knew I was going to do that.
Damn it.
So, what I've decided to do, as I said, we're just going to talk a little bit about her. I'll see what the time is like, how deep we want to go. But Barbara Minerva, her origin story, Shaun, is really important because it's important also to remember this woman fights a god. So her powers are a lot stronger than you think.
She can run at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour.
She is the 6th fastest character in DC.
Holy shit.
She is faster than Zoom.
Jesus.
Yes. And
what?
Kid Flash.
That's insane.
She is lightning quick.
I did not know that.
She fights Wonder Woman. She's faster than Wonder Woman, I should say.
That's why I just thought she was quite quick because of the Cheetah thing.
No, DC did a list of the fastest characters in DC history, and she was 6th.
That's
and
pretty
so
good.
they put her 6th, not anyone else. This wasn't like a fan poll.
Presumably the top 3 are like Flash, Superman, and then another Flash.
Yeah, that's the main 3. Yeah. It's Barry Allen and Wally West, and then Superman in between. But born as the heiress of a vast fortune in Nottinghamshire, Barbara Minerva's life would change dramatically following an expedition she led into a dense African jungle, Shaun.
Love an expedition in early comics.
She was searching for a legendary lost city. But on her adventures, her team was betrayed by their guides, and the natives ambushed them. With only Minerva and one other, Dr. Tom Levens, escaping alive into a nearby river. So I will say, from the get-go, she's a shitbird. I want to make that clear.
Okay, so I shouldn't feel any sympathy for this woman.
No, she's a shitbird then and she's a shitbird now, but we'll get to that.
Good to know. I like consistency.
Minerva and Levens washed ashore to find themselves at the foot of the lost city. So
very fortunate.
Pretty lucky. The people that were there were in the midst of a ritual though at the time. One of the other members of their research team was captured and offered as a human sacrifice to their god by the high priest Chuma.
Okay.
The ritual,
not great.
The ritual had been intended to restore the health of an ailing woman who was regarded as an avatar for their cheetah god, Shaun.
I see where this is going, Connor.
Yes. You thought I was talking nonsense.
All the pieces are coming together.
What is her name again? Before the ritual could be completed, an outside tribe attacked the village, slaughtering everyone but Chuma, who is the high priest, who was saved by Minerva. So she saves the priest.
Okay, but everyone else is dead, even the woman they were trying to turn into a cheetah lady.
Everybody. Due to a grenade blast, Minerva and Chuma became trapped within the temple, with no hope of surviving whatsoever. I mean, there's no hope, Shaun.
Well, it's a very short run of comics for such an important character.
While they were trapped together, Chuma explained, you're about to die, so you might as well monologue.
Cards on the table here.
This is what I was up to. He explained that the ritual, which could only be performed on the full moon and required a blood sacrifice, would have turned the old woman, the old very sick woman, into a cheetah god and restored her youth, having lived for centuries before her murder by the invading tribe. So she would have basically been turned into a cheetah god.
And just been ultra powerful, basically immortal kind of a thing?
Yeah, the basically.
Just the basic levels of godhood.
The basic godhood kind of type. Dr. Minerva demanded that the ritual be done to her.
What? Why?
So that she could have a chance at power and immortality.
Jesus Christ.
But immediately, shitbird behaviour strikes.
You can't just demand that of a high priest, though.
But Chuma refused.
Further
explaining that a human sacrifice was necessary for it to proceed.
There's only two of us here.
I thought the same, but hang on. When Minerva's research partner successfully found them, Shaun, and dug the two of them out of the cave.
So they were friends.
They're like, I'm your research partner. Oh, there's survivors down there. I'm going to go down and save them. I'm a hero.
They'll be so thankful.
They'll be so thankful. And it's Dr. Minerva. She's so nice. So they get them out. Or he gets them out. And he's like, how you doing? You good? Dr. Minerva immediately murdered him and drank his blood to initiate the ritual to begin.
Immediately, you say?
Immediately.
Jesus Christ. Give it a beat and be like, oh, listen, I'm sorry, but I have to do this.
Sorry about this, but I've just learned of this cheetah god thing and you're not going to believe it, but I'm going to
I fully trust this man 100%, by
He told me once, we were going to die together. He said cards on the table. I got to believe him, Tom. So Chuma obliged, because there was a human sacrifice now, isn't
waste not, want not.
Yeah, there's someone been sacrificed now, so might as well go through with it. So Chuma obliged and performed the ceremony. But the native invaders returned. These lads won't fuck off. Putting the survivors into danger once again. By the time the invaders reached Chuma and Minerva, though, the ritual was complete, Shaun. And Dr. Minerva had been transformed into a feral cheetah woman.
Feral? So fully just wild cheetah woman then?
Wild cheetah woman, yes.
Right, and when they say the survivors, is it just the two of them or are there other survivors somewhere else? Is she going to save people, or is she just a full-on dickhead?
Mercilessly, the Minerva attacked the native tribe, slaughtering and devouring them all.
Oh, she eats people.
Before she reverted back to human form. She eats, she scratches, she just mauls. Mauls might be a good way to put it.
Yeah, she savages them.
Yeah, she dart mauls them. Dr. Minerva immediately... I do apologise. Yeah, she was grateful for her new powers. And she was reverted back to her human form. Mm-hmm. And so she's very grateful. She's like, now I'm able to turn into a cheetah. That's really handy for my day-to-day life.
Get to the shops a bit quicker.
Go to do the groceries. Minerva brought Chuma with her back to England. She's like, you're good enough. I'm going to keep you around.
I need to figure out this cheetah thing. And you seem to know a lot about it. So here's a plane ticket.
Gets him on a plane, gets him back. Unfortunately, there was an unforeseen side effect to her transformation. So the ritual had called for, and Shaun, you're going to like this. What was the unforeseen effect? Was the ritual had called for a virgin woman to become the cheetah, and Minerva did not qualify, which is a great way to put it.
She did not qualify, I'm afraid.
Look, I'm going to leave it there, lads. But
you fill in the gaps yourself in your own time.
You fill in the blanks there, boys, but she did not fucking qualify.
She's having loads of... No, I won't say it, Connor. Simply won't.
Hence, rather than grant her youth and vitality, after the transformation, she became weak and frail as her human form. Only on the night of the full moon, when she became her feral alter ego, was she strong again.
Right, but every other time she's like a weak old human.
Exactly. And so at this point she's like, right, I've got superpowers like 3 nights of the month. Other than that, I'm not great. So after Wonder Woman made her debut in Boston, Minerva learned of the golden lasso that Diana wielded. Now you have to remember, she's a bit of a shitbird, but she's also an archaeologist. She's about finding stuff and then selling it on.
That's a grave robber, Connor.
Yeah, but like, she's already after killing and drinking blood, Shaun.
Fair point. So what's this lasso got to do with it then?
She coveted the lasso and tried to trick Diana into losing it, but to no avail. Since she failed to gain it as Barbara Minerva, she obviously was like, the lasso it's a golden lasso. It's got to be worth something. So I'm going to take that. She obviously couldn't get it as Barbara, so she tried to seize it by force as Cheetah.
Right. So she's so when she's Cheetah, she still knows like, oh, I want the lasso. She doesn't just lose her mind.
Not really at the moment. She's just a little bit more feral. She's just all about balls.
Okay, fine by me.
She's here to kill, and then she's hoping that she'll turn back into the Doctor. I'll be honest with you, it's not explained in depth in terms of the levels. It's not like
days.
It's not a Professor Hulk situation. We don't know the 50-50 layout of the brain.
Okay.
But so she tries to get it, and she actually was about to win. Diana was still a bit inexperienced at the time, and she was going to win until she was shot by Diana's friend, Dr. Capitelis.
Fucking shoot her, that's great.
Just shot her. And so she's obviously not deterred, so she's tried it once, didn't really work out. The second time, however, she tries it again. It was successful. She succeeds. How she did this was she used hired help to break two, and I'm going to say they're like aliens from a different world in DC. But to make it just easier, she got 2 mercenaries. We're just going to leave it at that. Okay,
that's all I need.
She got 2 mercenaries of the, and she then sent them to fight Wonder Woman. One of them got tied up with the lasso, which was just according to the plan that she wanted. Another of them threw Diana's friend off a cliff.
What? So the one with the gun?
So one of them's tied up with the lasso. The other one grabs Diana's friend, fucks her off a cliff in a kind of Green Goblin style way.
You can only pick one.
So Diana goes flying after the friend, they now have the lasso. So Barbara comes flying in. She takes the lasso with the two lads and gets out of there, knowing that the lasso could only be removed when the bound one is dead. So the deal is, like, you can't remove the lasso until the mercenary is dead. So they're like, well, she can't get rid of it. It's stuck onto me now for another little bit.
Mad.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But you're not going to believe what happens next, because obviously what I just said was you can't remove the lasso until the mercenary's dead. So she kills the mercenaries. She strapped bombs to them and threw them out of a helicopter.
That seems excessive, Minerva.
Wanting to leave no traces from the bomb and the helicopter throw, she then invited hired help to her backyard, and there she hunted and killed them as Cheetah.
What?
Yeah.
She hunted and killed people?
Yeah.
Just for sport?
Well, she wanted to leave no trace that the lads were working for her. So she blew them up. No, she threw them out of a helicopter and blew them up on the way down, and then turned into a cheetah to really just rip up the remains.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
The bomb would have gotten rid of most of them, though, sure.
I would say a 95% is gone with the bomb.
Why don't you drop him out over the ocean?
Once the lasso was in her possession, Minerva became obsessed with the history of it. Knowing that Diana would soon figure out that she and Cheetah were one and the same, she left Chuma to poison Diana. So she's like, you poison Wonder Woman. That'll
go great for you, I'm sure.
I'm going to feck off. So she leaves for Africa, leaving a trail of bodies in her wake. She's just killing people, just, how it is.
Cheetah time.
Remember, I said she was a shitbird from the very, very start, Sean. She has not changed.
There's no redeeming qualities to her at the minute.
No. It's like Lex Luthor or the Joker. That's why she's the arch nemesis. She's just bad. Cheetah found the city that was home of the rogue Amazons, and she's just there to kind of fuck with them. Wonder Woman shows up. She pursues her there. And when Minerva reverted to human form, she was worse off than ever. The plant from which an ingredient was gathered for the ritual transformation began to die. So she's getting older and sicker every time she's a human now.
Right. Okay, so she's going to die basically from this, is that?
It's not looking good. And so the only way to heal, Chuma decides that the reason why this has not worked is because she's on like death's door at this point. He guesses that the god, Cheetah God, is jealous of her divided loyalties, as she's like more interested in the lasso and all that than she is in like worshipping the Cheetah God that she's meant to worship. And so it's a bit far-fetched. Let's just go with it, John.
I'm with you. I'm still with you, Conor.
And it's like the god's probably betraying you because divided loyalties and all that.
You need to double down 100% into the god stuff.
The only way she would be healed was to kill both Wonder Woman and the queen of the city that she's in.
Oh. That's a small feat.
Chuma's a bit of a dick as well.
Chuma's just guessing this, man.
He's just winging it. It's the equivalent of turn it off and turn it back on again. Becoming Cheetah once more, she kills the queen pretty easy and gets into a fierce battle with Wonder Woman in the midst of an all-out assault by all the other rogue Amazons. Diana defeats her, and Chuma was killed by the Amazons. She survives the destruction of the city and was taken into custody. So she is sent to Arkham Asylum.
That'll go great, I'm sure. Famously inescapable Arkham Asylum.
I haven't got... There's so many other stories I could have done.
Oh, I'm sure. If she's been around this long...
Oh, so many. And she's been sent to different dimensions. She's been turned back into a human. And then there was a bit where she licked Deathstroke's blood to turn back into a cheetah with all the powers of Deathstroke. It's... Because the ritual, you have to drink somebody's blood.
Oh, of course.
It's a whole thing.
It's wild.
While in prison, still racked with pain at this point, Sean, Minerva was approached by a messenger of Circe, who is, of course, a god in the DC world.
Game of Thrones, yes.
You could remember her from Circe from the episode, I I think it's This Little Piggy, Justice League Unlimited. I think it's like season 3 something. But Wonder Woman gets turned into a pig, and Cersei's the reason. That's the episode where Kevin Conroy sings at the end as Batman. Yeah.
Everything you've just said is a fever dream.
I'm telling you now, it's a great episode. Cersei's like, I'll turn Wonder Woman back into a human, but you have to give me something that once you give it, you can never get it back. And it's like his public perception. So he has to dress up he has to be as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and go onto stage and sing. And Kevin Conroy's obviously amazing at singing because he's like a stage trained actor or singer.
What does he sing?
Am I Blue? He sings with like Kevin Conroy's really deep voice. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Check it on YouTube. It's really great. But Cersei sends a messenger. And the messenger gives Minerva a potion that transforms her permanently into the Cheetah. Whereas before she had worn a suit and was not totally in control in Cheetah form, now she's totally transformed and completely in control of the Cheetah version of herself.
So it's the Professor Hutt, like she's all the powers now, but
Exactly.
also the control with it. That's great.
The spell also allowed her to take on a human appearance while still being in full possession of her Cheetah powers. So they've solved all of her problems at once.
It's very convenient. It's nice that they don't have to write around that anymore, though.
Unfortunately for her, though, the potion had also made her a slave to Cersei and her schemes.
Understandable.
But what happens then is she goes immediately and betrays Cersei and just turns on her. But she gets to keep the powers. That's how they got around it. So she basically ends up getting Wonder Woman to fight Cersei. Like, she lures Wonder Woman in to fight, and then she's like, you should fight Cersei. She's the one controlling all this. I'm just like Cheetah. I'm just here. I'm just being controlled.
I'm just a messenger here. You need to help me.
When Wonder Woman defeats her, then the powers are gone, and she just gets to keep her newfound abilities. So I'm going to move on to powers and abilities. That's just small stories I wanted to cover. I would recommend having a bit more reading of things that she's been involved in. She's been involved in a lot. But a really cool fact is that the Injustice League was set up, obviously in response to the Justice League, and its founding members, it only has 3 founding members. Can you name the 3 founding members of the Injustice League?
Lex Luthor, the Joker, and Cheetah.
They're the big three. So
that's great. I like how that's a perfect mirror of
you have the Holy Trinity on either side. That all the villains and all the heroes launched both of them.
Man, it's like Cheetah's really underrated or undermarketed at least.
Yeah, it's one of those where she doesn't get as much play as Lex Luthor and Joker, but like she's the arch nemesis, and she's the only female arch nemesis that I could find, which I think it's weird, but what can you do? That's just the way it is.
Shame that movie wasn't better.
It's a real shame, but what can you do? And they also had Maxwell Lord in it. On a recruiting trip for Killer Frost, they actually beat up Firestorm, and Cheetah was about to kill him, but was stopped by Lex Luthor. So Lex Luthor's even like, come on now.
Fucking wind it back a bit.
Just chill. I know you're evil. Just chill.
We all know how evil you are, Cheetah.
You're fucking savage. We know you're ridiculously evil. So powers and abilities. Cheetah is the avatar of the god, or goddess of the hunt. Her powers are obviously magic based, meaning that she falls under magical beings in DC Universe. She has, of course, Cheetah form. She's able to become her Cheetah form at will, giving her the following powers. She has strength. She possesses great strength. She's strong enough to smash down trees when she throws someone with her tail. She and Wonder Woman have displayed equivalent strength in rope pulling.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Durability. Her physical durability is enough to withstand blows from the likes of Wonder Woman and Superman. It doesn't protect her from bullets, lasers, or other piercing attacks, but she can take punches and kicks.
Okay, but if you can get a shot on her, she's pretty much gone.
Yeah, in terms of speed, Cheetah possesses greater speed than Wonder Woman, enhanced even further by training with Zoom. So she actually trained with Zoom at one point, and so that's why she's faster than Wonder Woman.
That's so cool.
And as I said, she was ranked in the top 10 fastest DC characters in 2018 by DC. She's in sixth spot, beating out Wonder Woman, Shazam, Godspeed, and Kid Flash.
I mean, like that's pretty impressive. I had no idea she
Godspeed.
This is about as fast as you can go.
Her agility, she's got body coordination that's incredible. Obviously, she's able to tag very fast superheroes and such as Wonder Woman, Flash, and Superman. It has been said multiple times that the goddess guides her claws, meaning that the goddess plays some part in coordinating her movements. So the cheetah god gives her those movements.
So there's some like divine intervention kind of thing happening.
Yeah, she has enhanced senses. She has these claws and fangs. She's got supervision, and her tail is also a weapon. She chokes and grabs enemies with her tail.
And she just permanently has a tail. Like.
Yeah, she can chop through trees with it.
That's fucked.
She has hand-to-hand combat that's very advanced as well. She's able to go one-on-one with Wonder Woman repeatedly. So
no small feat.
That's all of her powers and abilities, which is no weaknesses.
Yeah, that's a pretty good spread. And like I like when a character is faster than their enemy, because it means the enemy. So, sorry, it's weird. Wonder Woman is slower than Cheetah, so if she wants to beat Cheetah, she'll have to either be stronger and hit her harder, or be smarter and predict what she's going to do, which is always really interesting to me.
Makes Wonder Woman more interesting because she has to adapt.
Yeah, and she's not just she's not just good at everything, and it's hard to do a threat then. I had no idea about that character. Like, even from the movie, I was like a very surface level of, she's got some cheetah powers, and that's pretty cool. But like, faster, like top 6 fastest people.
Yeah, she doesn't get any of the big say, really. Like, when you're talking about villains in DC, which is a real shame. Because she should be bigger than she is, I think.
I think so, and I think like she should be at least on like a Lex Luthor level in terms of like danger. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think she's like more psychotic than Lex Luthor.
Yeah, less like more of a flight risk, I would say.
Yeah.
Like to put her on a team even.
But I think that's it for my report, Shaun, if you want to take us out.
Very well done, Connor. Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We'll be back on Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you to everyone who supports over on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. Also linked below are all of our socials and the merch store and everything like that. But the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.